Well, good morning. I got Riley here to help me today. You say hi, Ry? So today we're doing a project, and as you can see by that thing that was up in one corner of this here, this is a sponsored video. If you don't like sponsored video, go up there in the search bar and there's plenty of other videos you can watch. But for this one, we are going to install solar and a power station in this camper. And as you can probably guess by that, that means this video is sponsored by EcoFlow, and since they always like me putting their logo on the screen here it is. Hey, Ry, do you like camping? Now, would you like to go camping if there was a way to charge your tablet and your toys and your flashlights while we're out camping? So should we make it so this camper does that? Okay, let's do it. So my plan is to mount my two 100-watt solar panels up here off of this roof bar on this thing and just permanently mount them here. And then inside, we'll put the new and improved River 2 Pro in the box under here, plug into it, and then all the outlets in this thing, the lights and all that, will run off of that. Plus it has all its own power ports that we can run off of as well. Sound good, Ry?
Yeah.
So I've got the camper sitting here next to my big rollback so that I can reach everything from this side. Hey, what are you doing in there? And then I've got the hatch right there I can go up to get to right there. And then the ladder on that side, that way I don't have to keep moving the ladder around. Hey! And what we're gonna do is use some of this Unistrut stuff. You think it's gonna work?
Yeah.
We're gonna use some of this Unistrut stuff to go from here to there, front and back. And then I got some extra because I might need to put a couple of them this way to actually mount the panels to. We'll see how they line up once it's up here. So let's do that. We're gonna mount them on the bottom side of this, like so. Because I want the panels to be as low as possible. I don't know if you can see me over there. Close enough. Okay, I've got our two bars sitting up here. It's loosely U-bolted on so I can adjust. I got to bolt that panel to them. But I got to run down to the shop and get some washers. Riley left. She said I'm too boring for her, so she went back to the house. We're going to take the e-bike and ride it to the shop because this stuff's too big to fit in the shop. And yes, this is a very different e-bike than the last one you've seen. And yes, there's going to be another e-bike review. And yes, the last thing I wanted to do was another e-bike review. The other one was terrible. I wanted it for my wife. Turned out to be no good. So I kind of thought I'd just like buy a nice one for my wife and that would be that. And then this company reached out to me and the conversation was very interesting. And at first I'm like, I am not doing another e-bike review. But after talking to them, I agreed to it because they're confident. And they referenced my last video where I trashed the other one. And the fact that I trashed the other one is exactly why they want me to review this one. So that's coming. But for now, we gotta get some washers. Okay, we got some washers that should work. Now we're gonna head back up and put them on. Hey, dogs. Okay, so I left these clamps loose so I could move this back and forth. And this actually, distance-wise, lines up really good. I was worried about that thing kind of being in the way. And then having to put cross pieces in to mount this to, but the spacing's working out perfect. So I've got some screws down here that I'm gonna put nuts and washers on. Thing's dirty. And then tighten this down, and then we can put another one right there. So we got the solar panel mounted, bolted down. All these are tightened up. Now I gotta do is cut off the extra here. I put that one right to the edge, let this overhang, cut that off, and then the top part of this is done. And of course, to cut it off, we're gonna use the very power source that we're building all this for. So this is the EcoFlow River 2 Pro, the new and upgraded version. It's now 768 watt hours, capable of putting out 800 watts out of its AC power ports here, unless you kick on the X Boost mode. Then it can run out 1600 watts of AC power out of here to run things much bigger than a grinder if you need. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 AC plugs, a normal cigarette lighter type of plug here, a couple DC ports there. Then it has 3 USB A's and 1 USB-C 100 watt output plug if you're like the new iPhone cables and stuff like that. And obviously, it can be charged by solar or you can plug it right into the wall. So if you're plugged into the wall, This thing will recharge from 0% to 100% in an hour and 10 minutes. Not 0 to 80 like most do, and then it takes another 2 hours for the remaining 20%. 0 to 100 in an hour and 10 minutes. Now, of course, on solar, that's going to depend on what solar panels you're using, how much input you have, the sun, all those kind of variables. But charges incredibly fast, and the battery is good for 3,000 cycles from 0 to 100%. So essentially, in your normal use with this thing, if you drain it down to 10-20%, fill it back up to 90% like most of us would do in normal use, you could run this thing down and back up every day for like 10 years and it would be totally fine. This thing actually has a 5-year warranty, so you should have no issues there. Enough talking about stuff, let's start doing stuff with stuff. No, I'm not using a cutoff wheel as a grinder. I would never do that. Good enough. Okay, so everything up here is now done other than remembering to grab our nuts and bolts and wrenches and like my phone. So let's put that thing inside and see how we're gonna use it. Okay, so I'm thinking I can drill through this piece of tin right here, or even get some clips that clip these wires right down the side here. And then down here, let's get all this out of the way, they go up right here easily to the inside of the camper. Then we come in here, and there it is. It fit perfectly in this opening. The Delta 2 would have been too big. This one fit perfect. So what I got going here is I got the power cord for the whole camper that's made like plug into like shore power. Just plugged into this for now, and it runs back out of here, and which makes no sense at the moment because I haven't finished it. It comes back up into this junction box and then feeds this power converter, which I can hear running right now, and it's probably taking a ton of power. And then it's running the 12-volt lights. And the handy thing about the EcoFlow units is they use a nice little app where you can control on off of all the different power ports separately from your phone. So even if this was in here and closed up, and this wasn't, like that, you could pull out your phone and kill power to the whole camper and shut all this off, turn it right back on in the morning from up there in bed. And then what I think I'll do is just a couple little hole saw cuts right here to be able to run 12 volt and USB power out the bottom right here where you'll never see it, and be able to have your phone chargers and all that stuff while you're up here. I pulled the table out just for now so there's more room to be in here. Okay, now why a solar generator instead of a normal generator? And yes, I do say generator because this is a generator. I have had people argue with me up and down over that. It's a generator. Think about what's happening here. Now with a normal gas generator, you're taking a fuel source and converting the energy of that fuel source into electrical power that you can use. That fuel source is gasoline. With these, you're taking an energy source, converting that energy source into electrical power that you can use to run your electrical devices. The energy source in this case is the sun. It's doing the same thing, just using a different fuel source. The two big benefits are, one, the sun is free. You never have to refill the sun. And two, this also stores that energy instead of just creating it. A normal gasoline generator is creating that power anytime it's running, but not storing any of it. This here takes what it needs, stores it for you to use at any time. It's silent. There's no refilling it. There's no maintenance. There's no fumes. There's no nothing like that. It can sit in this cabinet right here, being powered by that solar panel up there, and just do its thing. I don't have to touch it. I can leave all of that alone and never have to mess with it, and I will always have power in here. Now, you probably also noticed up there, I said it was all done and there's only one panel. I said I was going to put two, but I started thinking about it, and my big 30-foot RV only has one 100-watt solar panel on it. So this tiny little thing that doesn't have nearly the amount of power sources going on, one will probably be fine. Two, this thing, I've been using it for a couple months now, I think. And this thing's been bouncing around between my tow truck and the track Jeep and all that stuff. And I've been kind of running everything I can off of it in the meantime, even when I have electrical power there, just to test it and see what it'll do. And it holds a charge and runs stuff for so long and recharges so fast that I think one panel is going to be all I need. And if I need more, I can just bolt the other one up there. For example, this thing, I just pulled it out of my tow truck to bring it over here. And I put it in the tow truck after the last time I charged it, probably 3 weeks ago. And I was using it to charge phones and camera gear and all that stuff in the tow truck. Then I left and went to Utah for a week while it was snowstorming and sub-freezing temperatures here every day. I got back, we're now about a week and a half later. It's been sitting in that tow truck in sub-freezing temperatures every single night for that week and a half. Pulled it out, it was still at 92% charge before I ran the grinder and all that with it. So it holds a charge just fine, even in the cold weather, and I think that one panel will be plenty. Now, here's the fun part. I can tell you about that thing all day long, and of course in the back of your head you're going to be saying, well, yeah, of course Casey's going to say good stuff about it. They gave it to him and they're paying him to talk about it, which both of those are true. But what I like about working with EcoFlow is from the very first video I did with them, I went and looked at the comments section and I saw a ton of comments from people who've actually bought them, used them, and love them, saying great things about them. I mean, anyone who knows me knows that my testimonial is honest and I'm not going to be swayed by sponsors or free product or anything like that. I've made that very clear in some past videos. But instead of listening to me on whether or not this is any good or not, what I'm asking is any one of you who has EcoFlow products like this, these solar generators or any of their stuff, and has used it, put your honest opinion of it in the comment section of this video. And then any of you wondering about it, you don't have to take it from me. You can go right down there and read comments from people who actually spent their own money on it with no sponsorships, no affiliation, no anything like that, and see how they like it. And that will tell you all you need to know about EcoFlow and the quality of their products. So that being said, I'm gonna ride off on my little bicycle here. And if you guys go down to the description of this video, after you read those comments, I will put the links. There's some discount codes. You can get a, I believe it's a discount or a free set. I'm not sure. I should probably not say free set until I'm 100% certain of that. But on solar panels to go with your River Pro 2 or River 2 Pro, whichever way around that is. Now, of course, those are affiliate links, and I do get credit for those, and it does help this channel out a whole lot. And just like EcoFlow has helped this channel out a whole lot. And I have to say thank you to them again for supporting what I do and want to be a part of helping me help other people the way I do. When we were actually in Vegas with EcoFlow for their product launch thing at the CES show, we were talking, that's one thing we actually talked about is one of the things they like about my channel and why they continue to sponsor it. And they're actually my only paid sponsor, by the way. But why they continue to do is they like what I'm doing and my reason behind doing all this, and they want to support, even though their products are not really in the off-road category and that type of thing. They're getting a lot more towards it with the new fridges they came out with and the tent heater, air conditioner, all that stuff, which we'll be testing soon and I'm super excited about. So again, huge thank you to EcoFlow, huge thank you to all of you guys who watch this channel that make all this stuff happen, and also thank you to those of you who are going to comment down below who have purchased EcoFlow stuff with your own money and give your honest opinion, good or bad, so that others can see what this stuff is really all about. So I've made about 500 laps on this bike so far, so I'm gonna turn the other direction now and go ride it. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever time it is where you are when you're watching this, and we'll see you on the next one. Hold up, before you go. Who wants to see an e-bike range test with an EcoFlow unit strapped to the back? Comment down below and please say yes, because I kind of want to do that.